Hello, everyone. Welcome to Development Palates. I am Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is John McTavish. How you doing, John?
Good man, I'm having a mighty, mighty good day.
That's perfect because today we're talking about the Brickhouse My Maduro. Cigar is a double Toro, 6 1/4 by 60. Comes out of the J.C. Newman Pinza factory in Nicaragua. Wrappers Brazilian Arapiraca, binder and filler both from Nicaragua. Price point is a nice value of $7.40. And this cigar was also released in 2012. So with all the details out of the way, John, what was your overall smoking experience with this cigar?
I would say this was kind of a slightly above average experience for me. Maybe, like barely above average. And I'll get into that in a sec. But first third was good. Got, I think, a little bit more of that wrapper influence with baking spices, sweet bread, cedar, a little bit of tannins. Unfortunately for me, that complexity really fell off for the second and last third, and it really became more of a toasted earth, toasted cedar flavor. And that toastedness really picked up. And I'd say by the last third, if you really like earthy cigars, this is pretty earthy for it in the last third. Not in an unpleasant way. I'm just not personally a big fan of earth forward cigars. And again, I would say that, it wasn't at a point where it was unpleasant. It's just it was very earth dominant in the last third. Construction was great. Had no issues with the burn whatsoever. It burned like a champ the whole way through, like a 2 inch ash. Bit of a resistant draw, which by our scale kind of knocks it down to good, but ironically is kind of one of the things you want in a bigger rain gauge cigar.
Mhm.
You kind of want a tighter draw because, uh, it's bigger ring gauges you tend to smoke a little bit faster, and I find a lot of bigger ring gauge cigars maybe are towards the open spectrum. So that was actually kind of a positive in my books. But what was your overall experience like?
I thought the cigar had a good start. Nice combination of flavors. Second, third, cocoa kind of dropped out and baking spice morphed into a black pepper note. Kind of took that down to an average level. Then the final third dropped a little bit more as the char kind of joined in and built up. When that char gets in there, kind of puts a damper on things. But you get a lot of cigar at a really good price, in here. So 60 ring gauge. Not everybody's a fan, but at this price point, just a lot of cigars. So as there's some value there. Um, I would say this is a good cigar for people to give a try. Fits into that budget category. So something that if you can smoke when you're not paying too much attention to it. If you have to put it down, it's not a big loss. Things like that.
What was the price point on these?
$7.40.
Yeah, that's pretty approachable
Yeah,
for a
and
Brazilian Aparaca wrapper, which tends to be a little more money. That's pretty good.
yeah, and I mean, if Maduro isn't your thing, go for the regular brick house, and you're going to be in the similar price point. So it's right there for you. So we were really close in the scores. John, you were on top at 5.80. I gave it a 5.55. So how did you think that 5.8 matched up for you?
That matches up really closely. That's to me what we describe as a slightly above average flavor profile with great construction. Just jumping back quickly to something you said there about value proposition. I mean, I got just under 2 hours smoking time, which is really good. And I think for larger ring gauge guys, that's kind of what they're looking for. Is they're looking for a longer smoking time, and in a lot of cases, if you're a bigger guy, you feel more comfortable smoking a larger ring gauge cigar. And if that's the case, probably a good offering for you. Yeah. What about you? How does your score match up?
Yeah, my matches up well. I mean, it was an overall average flavor experience. Construction was pretty good. The cigar was a little bit wavy and I had to do a relight in it, but the draw was perfect. And like you said, on a large ring gauge cigar, the draw can really make or break. If it's too tight, just on kind of how your mouth works on a large ring gauge cigar, you're in a different spot. So if it's tight, you just feel like you're going to get a headache, and if
Yeah.
it's loose, it's just like you feel like you can't control what's happening. So you
Yeah.
just want to be able to have a perfect draw on a cigar like this size. But yeah, I mean, we were talking about the Perla Del Mar before as another budget stick. I'd smoke this on occasion just because it's not something that you have to worry about, like that you drop the bank on it if you didn't, if you have to go do something else. There's definitely a time and a place for this cigar, and I'd smoke more of these. It's not going to be like a daily smoker for me, but I would do go back to these.
Well, it's kind of funny you should say that because I remembered that I have like not on the Mighty Mighty, but the regular Brickhouse Maduro. I think it's the Robusto. I have like a box and a half of these in my humidor
Yeah.
because this, first of all, the price point is like great, but they're. I've always found the Brickhouse Maduro to be pretty consistent for a Maduro offering,
Right.
and I like that they don't blend these to be a powerhouse. It's really there to showcase, I think, some of the sweetness and characteristics of that Brazilian wrapper. And again, for the price point, you typically find Brazilian wrapper cigars are kind of over the $8 mark. I can be a cheap guy from time to time. So for me, this is kind of like you said, if I feel like lighting something up and I don't really want to think about it too much, I reach for my Brickhouse Maduros. So that's kind of a staple in my humidor for me.
Yep. Exactly. All right. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. But also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalace.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
Subscribe.